Pace of Greek podcast 2. That's right, 2, because 2 comes after 1. We don't know how many we're going to do because there's no script. Of course, I'm joined by my boy Ryan from Prime Cigar, and we talk about absolutely nothing. Nothing we talk about. But we always have to talk about our sponsors, because no sponsors, no show. Who are our sponsors?
Our sponsors this week.
Brought
to you by.
Because it changes every week.
Obviously, Basado Tequila is our sponsor for the show. And I know that Alonzo just landed. He'll be here shortly from the airport. So he's going to come in a little later. And we also have my good friends from Alec Bradley Cigar and George Sosa, who's the VP of Sales nationally. He's going to come in later with us. But Alec Bradley Cigars that I'm smoking right now, Basado Tequila, which is the tequila I'll be drinking later, and Greek is the guy that I'm talking to currently.
Yeah, so there you go.
There we
got
go.
everybody. So we're good. All right. Obviously, we have to talk about the name thing on your mind, which I know is the Mets.
These guys.
I knew you were a New York fan and you like the Jets, but I didn't know so much the Mets.
Yeah. So listen, Mets. So they played in Shea Stadium, and the first professional sports experience I ever had when I was like 3-4 years old was a Cosmos game.
Wow.
Giorgio Canale,
Yeah.
Pele, the boys.
Yep.
So I said to my dad, I said, "What's this green and white team? What's the blue?" So I became a Met Jet fan
Because
as a
of
kid.
that.
As a kid from Jersey. So when you're from Jersey, you're supposed to be a Giants,
Yeah, Philly.
Nets,
Maybe
Ranger
Eagles
fan.
if you're South Florida, South Jersey.
Yeah, we're not South Jersey guys.
You're up.
we're the upper crusters.
Yeah, you're up north. I know.
Up by the hills.
That's where I grew up.
No, but listen. I grew up my whole life. I was a Met Jet fan.
And you got a little connection with the Mets. You know they're heavy hitters.
So Mr. Number. This actually on the back of this shirt is number 52. My boy Yoenis Cespedes, who's he's a cigar smoker, and that's how I know him. He hangs out here at Prime.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. We've had barbecues at his house, and he's a really, really good guy. And I was very, very excited when he let me know that he was signing with the Mets late in the season.
That's awesome.
He's a free agent, so they're going to be writing.
Now there's speculation the Mets aren't going to sign him.
The question is, can they afford him?
Yeah, probably not.
At a number, the Mets of course want him. And
Yeah.
by the way, I've spoken to him. He likes playing for the Mets, but it's dollars.
Yeah, it's cash is king.
It's all about dollars.
How about Murphy? Wouldn't you like to be him? He's another free agent.
There's big money floating around on that team right now.
Yeah, big money.
Yeah, Wright's signed for.
Yeah, Wright's going to be there for a couple of years. Now, were you shocked that they swept the Cubs? Honestly, because you had to be.
I was shocked a little bit that they played as well as they did last night, only because I really feel like the team. And I know I'm saying this selfishly because Yoenis is a friend of mine, but it felt like the team kind of gelled around him. They needed the slug. They need that slugger stat.
They need extra bat.
They needed extra bat. Their bullpen is insane. Their bullpen is so deep.
The Mets were 52-50.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they turned it on. They
turned it
got
on.
out of the gate strong, obviously. Now, any possibility you go in a World Series? Because I know you're a bowler.
I am
maybe sitting on the dugout. You're working at some things.
Let's just say that my phone has been blowing up all day. Hey, dude, any connect to some World Series?
Of
tickets?
course, that's what people
like
do.
you.
Yeah.
Hey, Greek, I need to go to the moon. Anybody's going to the moon?
Yeah, same thing. I love people. I always say to them, at least say to me, "How's your mom?"
Right.
And they text back, "How's your mom?" Yeah, thank you.
How are things?
What's going on? I got one for my boy Johnny C. and for you, which I know. The cleanest city in America is.
Well, it ain't Miami.
It's Chicago. They just got swept.
Nice.
I took that from Johnny, my boy. Johnny, that's for you.
And that's a clean joke.
That's a clean joke, so we can
Legitimately.
do it. I know last week when we were here, we were doing our first one, you talked about them winning again. You almost picked the score.
I almost picked it.
Which was great.
But I did go 3 for 3 on the picks.
You were pretty good. 3 for 3 in the picks. We're going to get to your other passion in a second, which I know you're excited about.
Yes.
But all the New Yorker fans came out even more. South Florida, so many people from New York. And everybody loves the Mets, the Yankees, Jets, the Giants. It's part of the culture down here. I know Miami people and people in South Florida don't really like it, but it is what it is.
Listen.
It's like a fifth borough.
Right. So 87% of the people down here in South Florida love the New York sports teams.
Yeah.
And the other 13% who aren't from New York and New Jersey,
They don't like it.
They love to hate.
Yeah, they live. But you know what? The New Yorkers helped this economy out a lot. You're a prime example. I'm a prime example. Get it? Prime
example.
cigar.
Yeah, clean
See-
joke.
See the way I tied it up?
Yeah, I love that.
All right, so I know.
I'm smoking an Alec Bradley cigar right here. I'm drinking tequila, Basado tequila.
We do the same thing. Jules and Time, my watch.
That's a nice watch. Where'd you get that watch? By the way,
Jules and Time?
the Met watch.
Nice. I know, the Met watch. Nice.
No, hold on.
Orange.
So
You tied the whole, and you got the blue shoes
I
in.
did. I tied it all together today.
Yeah, you look good. I walked in. I didn't even know it was you.
Listen, if I'm going to put on a T-shirt, at least I got to tie it together.
You look great. I like it.
so
You
thank
get away with it. You got a good face. It's like $100
Great
bill.
for radio.
It always good. No, this is more than radio. This is podcast.
Oh,
so I know now that you are so excited about your New York Jets.
Yes.
Another passion.
Yes.
And they got a big game. Could you have wrote a better script?
The only better script, which I really thought, and I told you this when we were hanging out, weeks ago.
Yeah.
I thought that we would be 5-0 going into Week 7.
Yeah.
Our loss to Philly was really a loss because of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
We're a better team than Philly. I think, listen, and Philly that Giant game was disgusting.
Yeah.
It was like the bad leading the worst.
Yeah, a
without
lot of
trying to offend.
mistakes.
A lot of mistakes.
But it's the NFL. Every Sunday, something could happen.
Yeah. I mean, but Philly's not a good team, and the Giants have problems. But that's a whole. And I like the Giants. I'm not a Giant hater. We let them play in our stadium. We're nice to them.
You guys are good.
But no, I mean, listen. The only better scenario is if we're 5-0 going into Week 7, but we're 4-1. We're solid.
Brady is 34-4.
I know.
In his division. I mean, doesn't that scare you? We got a couple of people watching.
Of course it scares me.
A couple of people watch us do the show, and always people get watching me and they say, where does this kid pull this stuff from? Because he has nothing in front of him. And I know that's the thought. But how are you going to be Brady?
You're just a vat of worthless information.
Yeah, that's it.
No.
Worthless. I'm worthless, so my information's worthless.
There you go.
How are they going to beat them? I mean, would you take the 9 points? I know you're taking the 9 points.
No, I'm not taking 9 points. By the way, I made a decision.
What is it?
So the worst thing that could happen is for me to take the Jets +9, have them lose by 8, and be torn between being a loser and a winner when really, money can't buy anything except a couple of, hours of good times. And,
That's right.
I really want the Jets to win, so I'm taking the money line.
Oh, you're taking a money
I'm
line?
taking the money
Whoa, you got big stones.
I might even lay 1. I may buy 10 away.
Wow, I better get my check today. I gotta definitely get my check today. So you're confident they can go into New England and win?
I'm a committed Jet fan.
I know, but that's too much sometimes. Sometimes your heart, you go too much.
But so I don't want to be a money winner and a sad Jet fan.
Yeah.
I'm taking the money line because I want to either have it all or have nothing.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah.
That's win big or go home. You win. They'll be big underdogs.
It's got to be close to 4.
Yeah, 3
and change. So yeah, but I do think that they spent this whole last week talking about the way to manage the clock, the way to manage special teams, the way to manage Brady. Keep Brady off the field, and when he's on the field, you have to put pressure on him. He's going to go deep. Yeah. You're going to get burnt. They're going to score touchdowns. But if you let him get into a rhythm,
you're beat.
You lose the game.
Now, how big do you think Revis is as far as being with New England for a year? You put that as something good, something bad, doesn't matter? Because he's got to know stuff. He definitely does.
I've often thought about what's the value. Like, why does Belichick always pick up the dead jet? Right? Because they've done that. Miami's done it.
Yep. They know something.
They know. So they know the sequence. But quite honestly, when you're in professional football, other than certain nuances, whether it's how these players cross the field and at what time, I think it's really more about the timing of the offense than the offensive weapon. It's the weapons on the offense, not the design of the offense.
I think a lot of it is just knowing little things.
Right.
That are not on a piece of paper. Just like you and I are friends. You know things about me. I know things about you. Revis spent months with them every day in practice.
Yeah.
He might see something where Gronk maybe leans a little to the left on a pass where he doesn't. Those are things
listen,
you can't measure that.
I'm hoping that New England tries to exploit Revis because that's a Belichick style, right? To shove it up your
You think
nose.
they're going to go at Revis?
I think they're going to.
Really?
I don't think they're going to go at him all night, but I think they're going to take some shots downfield against him just to try to pull. Because if he gets beat, or if he gets a flag, I think that as part of their design, it'll take the wind out of their sails, yada yada. But I got to tell you something. I don't think it does. I think, first of all, I think Revis is a stud. We all know that, and I think that I think any given Sunday they can win the game.
Oh, yeah.
If you sat here and said to me, Rye, as a Jet fan, who's the better team? We all know who the better team is.
The Jets have a tremendous defense.
We have a better defense.
Yeah, defensively, yes.
But they have a better offensive unit. Although last week, I got to tell you, the adjustment that they made at halftime was fantastic.
Well, he's a great coach, and he makes a
He
lot of
is.
good adjustments. I think that the Jets are the #1 team in the NFL as far as third quarter. They shut teams out. They outscore them. Those are all adjustments. Those are all things you got to do in sports, in business, in life. You got to make adjustments if something isn't going right. That's the biggest difference between this team and last year.
Absolutely, and that's the difference between a player's coach and Rex Ryan. And Rex Ryan's I don't want to get into the whole Rex Ryan thing. He's a good defensive. He's really a DC who, it's tough to become the president and then take a job below that, right? So it's tough to become a head coach and then take a job down. It's not happening.
That's your ego too.
Mangino did. I mean,
Of course.
but what I would say is that Belichick, in my opinion, Belichick, and you watch the way that he's played teams, and you watch when they're down. They've been down 21-7, 21-10, and
they stay calm.
He adjusts. Belichick is the best adjusting coach I think I've ever seen.
Oh, look at the Super Bowl, fourth quarter, down by 10.
Exactly.
Down by 10, and they get the trophy in their house. So that's what it's about.
But I'd like to give Bowles credit for what he's done so far.
He's done a great job.
So let's hope that it's a trend, and let's hope it's something real.
Now Geno comes back in a couple of weeks if he's ready to play, and the Jets are rolling. Do you make a switch, or you just leave it the way it is? Because I don't move.
No. I mean, there's no question that Geno's arm is better than Fitzpatrick's arm. But if Fitzpatrick is leading this offense and leading this team, and there's no question that Fitzpatrick is a more intelligent person than Geno. With a much tougher job, by the way.
Yeah, tougher. He scrambled a couple times.
Yeah, no, he looks good. For a guy who's 106 years old and played on 14 teams, he looks good.
He does look good. I think when you see him run, you're almost in shock.
I bust his balls up, but I think it's good luck that I do.
Yeah, he's good. I think he's good.
No, I think, listen, if they beat New England, Geno might as well get a job somewhere else.
Yeah, that's it. He's done. Maybe here.
Because if we are 5-1. First place, getting out of, you can't take the guy that got you there and say, thank you so much, substitute teacher, for teaching my kids, but I'm the guy.
Yeah, you can't do it.
That's not the way it works.
One of the things we do at Prime Cigars, we light up. That's what we're going to do right now. We're going to light up, get some cappuccino. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Peace! Great, and we're back. We're back with a special guest. I told you before, we don't have any script. We don't know what we're doing. We talk about absolutely nothing. We got George here, friend of Ryan's. He's a big shot in cigar company. He likes Greeks, and he's from Jersey. So I said, let's put him on the show. Right?
And when you say special, we made him take his helmet off, but it's okay. He can hang with us for the show.
Just for the show.
George he's a good guy. He's one of the good guys.
Yes, you can tell.
Yeah.
Jersey guy.
Jersey guy.
Yeah.
We used to hang out at GP's pub and we hung it together.
Yeah.
Nice.
Remember GPs? That's
Yeah,
cool.
of course I remember GP's. That was my place, man.
But
So George is, as you know, George is the what are you, vice president of product creation?
Yeah,
VP of sales.
I've been called worse.
So he says to me, he says, I'm VP of sales. I says, is there a P of sales? He says, no, there's not. And so, why don't you give yourself a raise and a title change and you'll be good.
He has a very relaxed look. A lot of the people involved in the cigar business have that. They're relaxed. They seem, content.
Hold on, I gotta go to work.
How tough
working
can it be?
here.
I sell cigars and I visit cigar shops. That's great.
That's right. That's good, but that's a good job. You like what you do. You get paid for it, and you got a passion.
It's a long way from Weehawken.
Yes, it is a long way from Weehawken. You are right. In South Florida, definitely a long way. What do you tell somebody who just starts out smoking? Because a lot of guys come in, they don't know what to smoke, what to get, price-wise.
It's a great question. I was asked, just got back 6 weeks working with our European distributors, and it's probably one of the most asked questions. You got to smoke what's right for you. Don't try and impress everyone with a label just because you heard a cigar is great. Ratings are ratings. There's only 2 ratings. You either like it or you don't. I suggest you start off with a mild, medium cigar and work your way into a full body. That's where tobacconists like Ryan and his crew can guide you into the right cigar.
Yeah, they do. They do a great job with
Yes,
that.
they do. That's why.
People ask all the time, what's the best cigar? What's the best cigar that Alec Bradley makes? Whichever one you like the best.
They ask me, and I say, how do you pick your favorite son or your favorite grandson? I mean, it's what I'm in the mood for.
I got a favorite kid, by the way.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
I don't believe that. I don't believe
Don't
that.
tell me that.
No, I'm kidding. I love all of them.
He's kidding, girls.
I got 3 daughters, and I love them all exactly the same.
And I know because I see you on Facebook loving them all the time.
Absolutely.
That's
absolutely.
right. That's what it's about.
Very lucky.
Family's the most important thing.
Absolutely. But listen. I mean, you take a cigar maker, you take a tequila maker, you take, how many different things can we talk about in an hour that we never even thought about talking about?
Yeah.
It's cigars is like automobiles, is like clothing, is like booze, is like they make lots of different blends. They're all good.
Yep.
Just you like one of them better than another one. You like a mild cigar. You like
Yes.
a more creamy medium cigar, whereas I like something that's a little more intense and peppery. And so
Yeah, I don't like them too strong.
yeah, these guys, these guys make great cigars. It's a boutique cigar brand, so it's all premium to super premium. It's all, super expensive tobacco. Not that the cigars are super expensive, but the quality of the tobacco is top-notch quality. And they make lots of cigars in lots of different flavor ranges to provide something for everybody.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head. If you do first of all, I love Prime. I'm not just saying it because I'm with Ryan, but every chance I get, I brag about this shop. I only wish I was in town more. I'm always all over the globe. But I mean, there's nothing high tech about a scotch, a cigar, a wine, a cigar. You get to relax. You get to take it easy. I mean, not only has this been relaxing being with you guys today, the phone's off. What a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's hooked up to technology.
Yep.
We're over here talking about fun things, cappuccino, cigars. I don't care if it's water.
Yeah.
It's your time. Our mantra is live true.
That's right.
Live true to yourself. Take some time for yourself.
I don't think a lot of people do that. And like you
that's where
said,
the
social
problems
media.
start.
Yeah, social media has killed that. I mean, I've said it all the time. You go to a restaurant now or any place else, you'll see 10 people. They're always looking down.
Just talking about that at my last stop. I go, why even bother going to a 4 or 5-star restaurant if you're all going to be texting?
Living on technology. I mean, I've told you this. We have a rule. When I go out with my boys to dinner, we take our phones, we put them face down on the table, and they're all blinking. And our rule is, if whatever's going on your phone is so intriguing to you that you have to reach in and grab that phone, you're buying dinner.
Yeah, that's the number one problem. We were talking about this today, actually, on the Penthouse. Franny brought it up about a survey with men and women when they're dating. That's the number one thing that bothers them. When they go out to dinner, they're always on their phone. They're texting, they're tweeting, I'm here, I'm there.
You got to disconnect.
Yeah, you have to.
You got to disconnect. And there's a problem in society right now where people there's technology addiction.
Yeah.
I mean, my daughters, for me to disconnect my kids from their phones,
Oh, forget it.
they feel like the world is passing them by, like they're missing something, and it gets ridiculous. What's before you got here, we were talking about sports and we were talking about nothing, whatever. I know you're from Jersey, obviously you're from my town in Jersey, but Jets, Giants.
I gotta be perfectly honest, and some people will be shocked that know me.
If you say you're
I'm
a Dallas fan, I'll
older.
throw you
No,
out.
I was older than you, obviously. I was always a Jets fan with Joe Namath. I was a kid. He won the Super Bowl. But then when I was a transplant and came to Florida, I became a Dolphin fan. Yeah, I know. Still a Yankee fan. Still a homer.
By the way, I bet the Dolphins last week.
Yes, he did.
Really?
Yeah, he liked him. He did.
I don't even vote for, bet on the Dolphins. It's like, but I'm really, I haven't seen
you're a
that type
Dolphin
of
fan.
leadership. I mean, it looked like they were energized.
Yes.
The coach
You
looked
know what
energized.
happened, Gary? He bought himself a linen shirt.
Yeah.
He got himself a nice tan, and now he's a Dolphin fan.
That's it.
Oh, so here we go.
Well, George, listen, I mean, I know that you got to go because you said you're heading up to another meeting. I appreciate you coming by. I appreciate the relationship that we have with Alec Bradley. Alec Bradley's owner, Alan Rubin, and his sons, Alec and Bradley, which really got the name, are close personal friends of ours, and we love having you as part of this. We'd like to have you back.
Thank you so much. And for our fans, please go to alecbradley.com. Take a look at our website and what goes into every Alec Bradley.
And this podcast will be on alecbradley.com next week.
Okay?
That's nice. Well, I love meeting guys from Jersey.
Love meeting you, Greek.
My
Take
pleasure.
care, all right?
Thank you very much.
Next time the baklava's on me.
Oh, well, nice. I like it. D. Gotti's, everybody. It's the podcast, too. We'll be back in a few minutes, and we got another guest. They just keep coming out of woodwork. They're like my ex-girlfriends. Peace! Podcast 2, Greek, Ryan, you know the characters, and we are definitely characters. We have no script. We talk about nothing but something, but you got to figure it out. A lot of that. All right.
Back of that, clock of that.
A lot of that.
No.
There's a little bit of a scandal going down at the University of Louisville. First, I want you to put on your thinking cap as a businessman, as a possible booster, as a possible athletic director, and an icon in Rick Pitino. Now, there's speculation that goes on and different things. This woman came and said that they had prostitutes there to help the recruits make a decision. First of all, this question, because my answer was yes. But a young kid, 18, 17 years old, do you think bringing in a hooker could change your mind, be saying Louisville in Kentucky? Would that change your mind?
No, I mean, but you got these kids are kids. It doesn't matter if they're star athletes; they're kids.
Yeah.
And these coaches are going to do anything they can, I guess. I mean, from a recruiting standpoint, to try to get them to make the decision. Now, look, maybe he's got something on these kids. It's a bad move. It was a bad move.
Do you think Pitino knew?
I think that it doesn't matter if he knew.
Okay. So your AD, he goes.
Quite honestly, if your minions are doing something that could affect your brand, and like you said, it always starts from the top.
Yep.
If it affects your brand, you're responsible. Mm-hmm. If one of my employees here or one of your employees at the station does something, you're responsible.
Yeah.
Is it the kind of thing where there could be sanctions and there could be? I mean, it's not like it was murder for hire. I mean, I don't think he should lose his job over it.
Well, there's two things. He's breaking, obviously, NCAA regulations, but he's also breaking the law.
Yes.
Which is another thing that people don't want to talk about. Now, it's so hard with being somebody like a Rick Pitino, who's an icon to the university, what he's done, everything like that. And people always say, and I can't do this, but people do say, well, I look at it objectively. When you have that relationship with somebody you work with, or you're a friend, it's hard. You give them the benefit of doubt. Now, I think other things like this go on through other schools. Yes, you have to be naive. Do I think kids get paid in college? Somehow, some way, yes. I mean, they make millions of dollars, these universities. Teams go to bowl games. They get $6-8 million. It happens. That's life. That's why they get all these new buildings. Don't fool you. It's not the, chess team playing in Boca and getting a check for $2 million.
Look,
it's there's football, basketball.
Here's the deal with breaking the law. You and I can sit here right now and say that we're responsible adults and we don't do things we shouldn't do. But quite honestly, we've both been late, right? We've both gotten on a highway, put the foot on the gas a little harder. And if you're going 80 miles an hour in a 55 mile an hour zone, that's a conscious decision that you made. And if you get caught, if nobody gets hurt, no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
Right? Or harm, but no foul. But if you get caught, you made a conscious decision to push the pedal a little farther. And whether your staff was doing things to justify their existence and you didn't know about it, you still don't have the right to claim I didn't know. And if you did know about it, I don't necessarily think it's any worse or better than not knowing. I don't think that he should be judged on the level of the Paternos and the Bowdens and there are certain layers and levels to getting, the punishment has to fit the crime. Mm-hmm. Should he lose his job over it?
Yeah.
Look, he broke an NCAA rule. Like you said, he broke the law.
I think that this is where it depends with your relationship, like a lot of things in life, with your athletic director, the booster, the people. Do they like him? And also, it always comes down to this: assets and liabilities. Is Louisville a better school, and can they make more money with Rick Pitino?
Him.
With him
or without him?
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to. Sure. Because there's been a lot of situations in life where I've always said a lot of people got big erasers. Mm-hmm. And if you bring money, then you know what? They're going to sit back and say, hey, and I'm sure he's in with them. But a lot of people are saying he's not going to get out of this scandal. It's going to be bad.
So Pitino could step up right now and get in front of the camera and take full responsibility for this and say it's irrelevant whether or not I had knowledge of it is irrelevant. But he's got to be the guy that steps up and says.
He's not saying that, though.
But what I'm saying is he needs to step up and essentially alleviate or remove the question from the system and say, I am responsible for the people that operate my organization, and I take full responsibility, and I'm going to be reactive to this and proactive about the future if you'll still have me.
Mm-hmm. I don't think Pitino already came out in his first press conference. He goes, I had no knowledge. I didn't know anything about it. We're going to investigate it, and we'll find out. To me, it was like last year with the Dolphins, with Philbin, with the whole problem in the locker room. If you don't know, that's just as bad.
Oh, you're talking about with what's his name, the lineman, Incognito.
Yeah, I mean, the whole bullying thing. You're the leader. You should know. I think Pitino is such an icon, they'll give him a pass. Yeah. I just feel like that.
But I think it probably ends up making him a better coach and making him a better role model because he knows that if there's even a 1-strike rule or a 2-strike rule, he's up against it. And he doesn't want, these guys don't want to leave their legacy
No.
as.
Well, that's why he's so upset, because he's
Right.
got a great he's won everywhere. Won at
Right.
Providence, won at Kentucky, went to Louisville.
Sure.
But like everybody else, they start saying stuff behind your back. Oh, is that
Right.
why you got these recruits? Because in college, you got to reload. You got to go into that living room. You got to sell yourself.
You have to sell the parents. You
That's
have to
right.
sell,
Yeah.
and that's part of the problem is that you're talking about you're talking about being involved in an activity that parents are going to be offended by.
Sure, and trust.
So
And maybe the father might not be, but the mom is.
for sure.
The father's like, hey, need any guys on the sidelines?
Right. Odom's dad is proud. Odom's mom is pissed off.
That's right.
You read today that he's getting better.
Yeah, which is great news.
Yeah, look, we don't. Nobody wants to see a talented guy like that have a long-standing injury or anything.
Sure.
But obviously he's gonna be on dialysis. He's got kidney problems. But yeah, we're all glad that. But she's gonna haunt him for the rest of his life.
She probably will. I mean, it's ironic that they were getting divorced. Now they're not. She's by his side.
Right.
Speculation. People say, is she by her side? Is he there for all the hype and the people on Facebook and the tweets and all the entertainment
Right.
tonight? You'll never know.
Look, there's no question that there's PR value
Sure.
in everything.
Yeah.
I think it was what was it? Who was the guy on the radio that said there's no such thing as bad press? It was help me out here.
Well, Reggie Jackson always said it.
All press is good press.
Yeah, that's right. And
Anytime someone's talking about you, it's a good thing.
Yeah, good,
So-
bad, or indifferent. They like you. They
Right.
care about you. They're mentioning your name. Reggie Jackson
Absolutely.
always said that. Good or
Absolutely.
bad. All right, the Dolphins
Howard
get a-
Stern, that's who said it. Howard Stern.
The Dolphins get a win last week. Campbell looks
Yeah.
good. Obviously, he's all jacked up. People are happy. They had a good video. They saw Ross handing the game ball to him. Can they win Sunday against the Texans? Laying 4.5.
Right.
4 and a hooker.
For Hooker. Only if they're playing Louisville. So they're playing a bad team.
Yeah.
They're coming off a win.
Yeah.
They think they got something going.
Sure.
I can't believe I can't believe I'm gonna say
You
it.
go back to back.
I'm going back to back,
And they cover.
and they cover.
Woo! You got stoned.
17-10.
I
Dolphins.
said it earlier, I'll say it now. I got to get my check. If I don't get my check, I got a problem. Oh, man, that's a tough game. It is a close one. We know you like the Jets.
Yeah.
The Giants are playing the Cowboys. Not the same team. The
two
Cowboys
bad
without
teams.
Romo. But it's a New York team.
Two
People
bad
like to
teams.
talk about it.
Yep.
The Giants in lane 6.
I like, by the way. I mean, I as a Jet fan, I like the Giants. I mean, it's not an AFC thing. It's nothing would make me happier than a Jet-Giants Super Bowl one day. And
Oh, yeah.
and
That'd
they're
be
playing
awesome.
December 6th, by the way.
Oh, they are in season.
Yeah,
They did a
they're
couple
playing,
years ago, too.
Yeah, they're playing December 6th. We had a meeting today here at Prime about what are we going to do for the Jet-Giants game.
Oh, that's
and,
awesome.
And we're having bagels, I think.
That's awesome. You can't beat it. Bagels and Jets and Giants.
Football Boca bagels.
That's it. You can't
Yeah.
beat that. That's what's
See,
good.
you know the whole thing with this Buffalo Jacksonville game this week, right?
You're having a breakfast, right?
Well, forget about what we're doing for it. I think it's ridiculous that they're only showing the game in the local markets, which means the 11 people that are going to be up at 9:30 in the morning in Buffalo, because there's already 66 feet of snow on the ground up there.
Yeah.
Right. So the only markets where it's being shown on local is Buffalo and Jacksonville.
Now, the NFL Network is not carrying it?
NFL Network is not carrying it.
Wow.
I went on to DirecTV because we have the NFL package here, and I pulled up the DirecTV website, and it says every game every Sunday. I called DirecTV,
Yeah.
and I said, it says here every game every Sunday,
Yeah.
and they said, but that doesn't really mean every game every Sunday.
So that game's not going to be televised?
Because apparently every game every Sunday, 4 words, there's some inferences there.
Ooh, that's not good.
So what we had to do, the NFL did this deal with these 4, I think there's 4 games in Europe this year.
3, I believe.
Is it 3 or 4? Anyway, so they did this deal
You're the
with
sponsor. You say 4, we go with 4.
Yeah, we'll go with 4.
We'll go with 4.
There's 27 games in Europe.
Yeah.
So they did a deal with Yahoo Sports.
Okay.
So it's being broadcast live over this Yahoo Sports thing.
Streaming?
So streaming.
Yeah.
So what we had to do is I went and I bought 4 Apple TVs.
Ah.
And I plugged them into my TVs here because Yahoo Sports is part of that thing. So we're going to have it here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we'll have it. So we're going to have this Sunday is Schmoke and a Schmear.
Nice.
Yeah.
I saw that on your email because I missed the
Fair.
first one with the pancakes.
Right, smoking a pancake.
Was that good?
Yeah, no, it was great.
Well, that's
it was
cool.
great. It was great. So yeah, so we're gonna have the game, but I think it's bad. I think it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad for the NFL. It's bad. It's silly that they're not going to show it on the
The NFL is such a machine, they don't care. They just don't care.
you
And
know,
that's what it seems like.
exactly right.
I mean, it's the 50th Super Bowl coming up this year. You go back to Super Bowl I in '67 when the Green Bay Packers took on the Chiefs. Bart Starr's the NFL. I mean, the MVP. Tickets were $25, $50 to now is probably the biggest event in our country.
Yeah.
People don't want to. I said this on, Thanksgiving, Christmas Day, New Year's Day. I could drive around. There's tons of cars. Super Bowl Sunday after 6 o'clock.
Dead.
Nobody.
Dead.
Nobody.
And the crazy, I mean, obviously we have a party here every year, and the difference.
We'll be here
about-
again, Real Radio, because I won last year, so
did
we're
win.
back.
That's right, you did win.
That's right. I'm back.
But the funny thing is during Super Bowl Sunday,
Yeah.
every single seat. Now it's often that we'll have more people in here than there are seats.
Of course.
And they're moving around.
Yeah.
They're going from the bar. They're going into the boardroom, going wherever they're going. But on Super Bowl Sunday, every seat is full. And I swear, everyone's got their legs crossed because they won't even get up to go to the bathroom.
No.
They don't want to leave their
Oh,
seats.
yeah, no. I was here last year with my girl. She had to sit there and put her hand down.
Yeah.
Every time some guy came over, she said, I was thinking,
It's great for a guy in the bar, but he's like, "Can I get you another beer?" No, I'm good.
I'm good. I'm not doing it.
We get your bucket?
That's it. University of Miami, Al Golden. People fly over to stadium, say you should get fired. They got a big game. They're playing Clemson noon.
Yeah.
Now, if they pull that off, I think that keeps his job.
I got to go with Clemson in that game for two reasons. First of all, I happen to know Al. He's been here to Prime.
You say he's a great guy.
He's a great guy. He really is. I don't know that he's a great coach. He's a great guy.
I think he does a good job.
He's
They
a
just,
super guy. Miami's tough.
Yeah, but the
Miami's
Canes aren't
tough.
the Canes.
Canes are the Canes.
It's not Michael Irvin on the sidelines.
Right,
I
right.
mean, you don't have Testaverde throwing the rock. It's a different era.
It's a way different
it
era.
is what it is.
And I love Mr. T. I love that. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, they're so spoiled from winning.
Yeah.
Gators last week, they lose a tough game against LSU, but they're having a great year. They're right in the thick of things. They might be playing for the SEC championship. Alabama plays Tennessee tomorrow, Saturday. That's a big game.
That's a big game.
Yeah, I think Alabama goes on a run now because
Yeah.
nobody was talking about them. They smacked Georgia. I like them. I think they're going in the right direction.
Yeah.
But obviously, we got the pros on Sunday. Prime Cigar every day. You guys should stop by. It's a great place. One of my favorite spots in South Florida. I can go anywhere. In the beginning, was just me bumping in here, but this is where you could always find me.
We don't really talk about my place here that much.
What are you gonna
We're
talk
really
about?
talking about stuff.
What do you want to do? You want to talk about your place?
No, I'm just making a point that we don't talk about Prime Cigar.
Well, we got a
very
whole
much.
season.
That's a good point.
We got a whole season.
I think we've talked about Prime enough. Let's move on.
Okay, good. I bought some stock this week, Ferrari.
No, you did not.
I did.
Oh, God.
I'll tell you about it. It's Greek Podcast 2. We got one more segment. We got a special guest, the one of the main guys in our title sponsor, obviously. And without sponsors, you don't have a show. It's like walking in Publix tonight. No money, you can't get a loaf of bread. You need your sponsors. Stick around. He's going to join us, Alonzo, and then we'll tie it up, and that'll be it for Podcast 2. And then you know what's next? Podcast 3. Great, we're back. Great podcast. I said we had another special guest. Obviously, Ryan, you know him. He's a character. But behind every show, no matter what you do in life, nothing's free. You need a sponsor. Thank God we got Alonzo, who's stopping in, saying hi, giving his blessing to this whole big project. Because without Alonzo, we don't get out of the gate. Alonzo, great. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nice
And I
to
know
be
you,
here.
Ryan, and you were tight.
Yeah.
And,
Sorry, I was busy lighting a cigar.
and Ryan's lighting a cigar. And as you can see, this show is very, very loose.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
can light yourself if you want.
All right, guys.
So we were talking about how maybe you didn't actually exist, even though you've been here at Prime a bunch of times,
Right.
and you're good friends with some partners of mine in other businesses, and we're partners on this thing, and you love Prime, and I love Prime,
yeah.
and Greek loves Prime. I'm saying Greek. I go, I'm serious, man. He's on his way. He's on
Right,
his way.
right.
You know, you famous guys.
You know, it's like when you're waiting for a hot girl at a club or a restaurant, and your friends will tell you, she's here, she's
here,
at the
yeah.
edge, at the corner. So we were like, where is he? But now you're
like
here.
Greek used to tell his friends about the Canadian girl that he met over the summer.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Maybe she
Yeah.
did exist, maybe she didn't. No, but it's good to have you on, man. It's,
No,
We
I
appreciate
appreciate it. I appreciate it. Appreciate the opportunity, you know, with the podcast and, you know, in Prime once again. I've frequented this place many times, and I guess it's totally been under the radar.
Yeah.
Whereas just a second ago, I walked in and walked up to the wrong guy and shook his hand and said, Ryan?
Yeah. But you know me right away, which is good. It's a Greek.
you must be the Greek.
Which was cool. I said, yeah, right on.
Well, you know,
They told you a handsome guy, you went with me. So it was easy. How'd you get involved in this?
well, actually, I've been in the alcohol business for like 17 years. A friend of mine, Santana Dotson, they used to play for the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
We went to high school together. We played at Baylor University together. And we started off with a brand called Tequila Distinguido.
Okay.
which is distinguished in Spanish. And it was pretty much a mid-level brand, but we had major distributorship. We had Kenny Burns, who was I guess you said vice president for one of the labels with Jay-Z.
Okay.
Also with just BET and lately with Grey Goose. But so that's where my passion comes in for the alcoholic beverage industry. Fast forward, and Besato is a brand that we've been working on for a couple years.
And it takes time.
It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot more time than people actually, it's not like making Kool-Aid at all, I mean, you have the regulators, you have to satisfy 3 layers of the regulators, which is TTB. So you go for your label, your flavor. And there's no window anymore. Where 90-day window, it's a year, truly.
That's a long time.
Yeah, and so
It's tougher to get in the NFL.
right, yeah, a whole lot tougher. Believe it or not, it is. And so I guess obviously you start with the identity of a brand.
Sure.
And the identity of this brand began with Nando, a couple of good friends of ours over in Palm Beach. He and his wife. This thought of a way of making a sexy package with the name.
Now, did you have something to do with the design of the bottle? Because it's very unique.
Well, at the end of the day, yes, I did.
It's very cool.
Yeah, I already owned the name.
Listen, that's definitely got to be the biggest cork. I said cork in the industry.
Right.
That's a big cork right there.
Well, we look at it.
The guy, not the girl so much. The guy's got a big cork.
Yeah, he's on top of it, right?
I mean, because the first time I looked at the bottle, I was like, wow, that's like a piece of art. I'm like, wait a second, those are people making out. So there's a reason behind why they're making out on the bottle.
Well, Besato, meaning kissed in Spanish, was I guess that kind of led towards it. But what kind of really put a spin on is that having dealt in the tequila space, buyers, we say, oh Lord, here comes another tequila. You know? So now we have to do something that's different from anybody everywhere.
Distinguish yourself.
Totally. So what we decided on collectively was that let's add some herbs to it. So we added Damiana, maca, and ginseng. We all know what ginseng is, but maca and Damiana are aphrodisiac herbs. So, and you take into account that Viagra are using women to market their brands now. Well, Damiana and the maca herb, has its effect on the women as well.
Sure.
And tequila does as well.
Yeah.
Not to mention tequila.
Tequila, that's a good buy.
I mean, if it were just tequila, I get a whole lot better looking after a couple of cocktails.
Right.
That's a good trifecta.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
How you feeling? Really good.
I think with the herbs on, the makeup and everything stays in place, though.
Yeah.
The role playing is a lot more.
There's hunting and there's killing. When it comes time to kill, at least
Exactly.
People are buying into it more. It
Right.
makes a $10 bill look like 100.
Absolutely. So that's where the package comes from. Those are the ingredients in the tequila. We're here.
Can I get my doctor to prescribe it to me and get insurance to pay for it?
We're gonna have some researchers. We're gonna have some researchers on the Greek next time.
I tried to feel a little depressed.
White coat talking about what
What can it do?
They say. Well, I don't know if I should say this.
Well, don't say it if you don't want the world to. Put it this way. You said the
Scientifically, okay?
Right.
One of those herbs increases a woman's libido. So
It's like cash.
So I was just going to say, so it's cash.
It's like cash.
Sweetheart,
Sweetheart,
I got 2 things for you. I got a bottle of tequila and a fistful of money.
I was in Vegas when I was talking to this girl. It was between me and this guy. And I said to her straight up, I said, what floor is he on? What floor is he on? And she goes, why? I said, just asking. She goes, he's on the 6th floor. I said, I'm in the penthouse. She came with me. That was it.
It works no matter
That's
where
what
you
it is.
are, right?
So you're an ex-football player, obviously. You went to Baylor. They're having a great year.
Great year. I mean, I hear from a lot of people saying, "Oh, Baylor's finally on top," but that's somebody. That's not a fair statement because in life, totally life, you can't always be on top.
No, you can't.
And when I played at Baylor, Grant Taft was our coach. We were ranked. We had winning seasons every year. After I left, it slumped.
Of
But
course.
it's like it went down and it shot to the moon now.
Now you think they'll get into the playoff this year?
Definitely.
Yeah, now last year it hurt them a little bit because their division obviously don't have a championship game, and a lot of people said it didn't help them obviously to get there. But if they were on the table, they got a very good shot.
Well, they didn't want to. They weighed them too much against the TCU game.
Yep.
Because even though they beat TCU, it was close. They came back to win, and they just felt like TCU was the better team. Well, still TCU is number 3 and Baylor's number 2, so TCU's still there, and that's the last game of the year.
Yeah.
And they both win out. That's going to be a hot ticket. But this year, I think the Bears really do have a chance to play in that title game.
That'd be great. Be
Yeah.
great for the program.
Oh, totally great for the
Are
program.
you still involved with Baylor? Are you still involved
Absolutely,
with the Alumni Association?
We have homecoming this weekend. I'll be at homecoming.
Now, who do they play this week?
Iowa State, another 60-point game.
Oh,
I
they're gonna blow 'em out.
hate to say that, but
But that's homecoming
it's-
special. That's typical.
Well, yeah, but Iowa State have beat them.
Yeah.
They haven't always beat. Iowa State played somebody tough last week.
Well, it's with college football, people don't understand. You want to beat who's on the schedule, and then at the same token, you want them to win after you play them. Because
Yeah.
your win
Right,
gets
right,
increased.
right.
And a lot of people don't get that. You beat somebody, you say, all right, we beat them, but what you don't want them to do, you don't want them to lose the next 3 games, because then the impact of your win goes down, and then it hurts you.
It's funny you said that because one of the things I was going to talk about when we talk about the brand, that's a true profit type of statement. It's like it's good for us,
Yeah.
but we want it to be good for everybody else out there
Sure.
and the people around the corner. And then when we're done with it, we want it to still be good to whoever it ends up with.
Yep.
Period.
Well,
And-
anything, if something's good, word travels.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the bottom line. You have a product, I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
Could be a company, could be a cigar bar.
Right.
You could be a ball player playing in high school in Mississippi.
Right.
Jerry Rice. You're good, you're found out,
Yeah.
bang, you're
Yeah.
right there. It's pretty
Absolutely.
simple. It doesn't really change.
Yeah, and it's like Prime Cigar. I know a handful of people around here. Most people I know are in Brickell, but I always talk about Prime right here.
And the good news for the guys down in Brickell is
We're going to be there now.
we're going to be there. We're in construction
shortly,
right now.
Yeah. And I love coming here.
We
yeah,
still want you to come here to Boca, though.
Yeah. Your brother's real cool.
Yeah, it is.
Your brother's real cool. He was friendly from day one. And so I guess
You
that's
must have caught him on a good day.
he was
No,
nice
he's
then.
good people.
Well, you know what? Like anything else, you like to go
Yeah.
where you feel warm.
Yeah.
It's the atmosphere. I always talk to them. I didn't know them 3 years ago. I walked in the door,
Right.
and they just make you feel at home. You feel
Yeah.
relaxed. And I said it. I do radio ads for him, and in my ad I say it. I feel like it's an extension of my house.
Right.
And that's what the good thing is. Everybody's welcome. It's a cool place. And you just feel relaxed. You do what you want, and that's cool. And that's what you want with your tequila. You want everybody to enjoy it.
Absolutely. Not only that, like I said, we have somewhat of experimental marketing project going with MetLife Stadium,
That's great.
and it's a pretty good deal. And we use it because it's like a distribution project because you get the products in the MetLife. You build a club out. It's called the Basado Lounge.
Okay.
And then you go out into the trade and you sell it into New York City, which
That's
is
awesome.
the #1 market for alcoholic beverages in the world.
Can't beat
So
that.
we're on a big stage right
I
now.
was just gonna say you're on the biggest stage.
Yeah,
That's been a tough deal for you to strike. As a new brand
As a
breaking
new
into
brand.
a market that's a fairly deep market. Obviously, as a bar owner, we watch the trends. We look at what's going on in the world of alcohol, and there are staple brands that have been around forever. Even going back before the Sky Kettle One, Grey Goose phenomenon, which is really the shift in vodka. Tequilas were always, the Cuervo and the Patron, but tequila has become a huge market.
Right.
Craft tequilas. Years ago, you just said, it was tequila. It was usually mixed. Now the tequilas are barrel aged, they're oak aged, they're
Right.
aged in bourbon. Tequila is a huge market.
Right.
So being able to get a deal in an environment like MetLife Stadium, which
Huge.
is obviously a huge hot
Yeah.
ticket,
Yeah.
in a market that's saturated, there must be something that you've done right. Obviously the packaging is phenomenal.
Very neat.
The juice is great.
Right.
And again, I apologize. Last week for podcast 1, we didn't have the bottles out here because we thought that
well, what happened was we drank it all. we drank it all, and one of my bartenders or one of my managers, somebody was like, all right, bottles gone, 3 bottles gone,
Right.
and they ended up in the garbage. So last week we kind of had the ghost of Posado hanging around on, but we appreciate you bringing a couple more, and we'll have it here in Prime shortly. I don't want to bust your chops too bad, but are we pretty close to getting the distribution agreement done in Florida?
Yeah. Actually, I mean, the brand is registered in Florida.
Right.
We hired Park Street to be our back office. Park Street is well known in the industry to help brands focus on what they do best and let them take care of the things.
So are they representing you with the bigger distributors
Well,
like the Republics and the Premiers and the
No.
Southerns?
They don't represent us with that, but RNDC more than likely will have this brand.
Okay.
I just think that
We do a lot with them. So
being
that's
from
good.
Texas, that's all I know is Republic before
Sure.
they merged with National out of
National, right.
Georgia. So we have actually next Tuesday we have a meeting with them right after the production.
Oh, good.
So
We're doing after tonight's show. I'm actually heading out of here, and I know that Gary, you're busy, but we're doing a bourbon event tonight with RNDC
Okay.
up in Delray at my buddy's place, Soho,
Yeah.
which is cool. In fact, if you're going to be around, you
have we
come
been
with
there
us.
before?
Yeah, up in it's
we've been there.
Well, if you want to come up, come
Right.
join us. It's just 15, 20 guys getting together, smoking cigars, drinking bourbon cocktails,
Right.
and
Prime on
eating
wheels.
some- eating some
Yeah.
That's it. But every brand starts someplace.
Yeah.
I mean, even what you just said about the vodkas, different ones. I was very involved. My station, we were involved with Tito's, who came to the
You
market.
guys have done an amazing job.
Yeah,
with
I mean, they're
Tito's.
from Texas.
Oh, yeah.
And when they first came out, nobody knew. But it goes back to the same thing. If you have a good product, people are going to want it.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. And word of mouth spreads.
Tito.
Now, you guaranteed me that you're going to make Posado bigger than Tito's.
I'm going to try. I like Lonzo. I think he's
I'm gonna tell you, man.
He said me.
I mean, he's
Green,
cooler
I
than
said,
Mr. Beverage, that's for sure.
I'm gonna tell you, Posado is actually that next brand. I mean, I've learned to be very patient over the years, and we've been very patient with this. Of course, everybody wants to get it into the market,
Yeah.
rush it to market, but until it's ready, it's not ready.
That's right. That's a good answer.
Yeah, I mean,
Because you get one shot.
exactly.
It's like everything
You
else.
only get one shot to make a first impression.
Yeah.
That's right, and everything. Restaurants do that. They have a small opening, then they get better. They're ready. Okay, let's open it. Because that first impression is everything.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody likes it, anything, it's like a blind date.
Right.
You're gonna have that second date.
Sure.
If not, you're done.
As long as you have cash left over.
You got some cash. Now, who do you like in the NFL? What team do you think that?
All day, every day, I'm a Raider 49er fan.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that lets you know about my loyalty.
Yeah, it's good.
We don't have to always do good,
Yeah.
but we show up.
Now, the Raiders seem to be more an upswing, and the Niners seem to be in a little bit of a downswing. What do you think hurt both of those organizations or helped them?
The 49ers just seem to have, I guess this is just a
The coach
lot
leaving.
of off the field distractions.
Yeah, to me,
Hurt the morale around there. And
as a fan, I know upstairs, whatever drama they had with Harbaugh, they did. But 3 years in a row, you get the NFL championship. As an outsider, as a fan, we don't know what goes on, but you don't change that. And then you see players leave, see a couple players retire. They're not the same team. I know the 49ers say, hey, we're rebuilding. They just got a new stadium.
yeah.
And to me, as a fan, that wasn't the right thing to do. You got to put your egos aside.
Well, number one, you're right. Why you get rid of Harbaugh?
3 years in a row.
He's won.
Yeah.
I mean, Singletary, Texas grown, Baylor guy.
Yeah.
We hate to see him leave, but I mean, he's replaced with Harbaugh, and Harbaugh's won, and
Basically with the same team.
basically, yeah. And now all of a sudden, they're outside looking in, and they're just showing up now, and they play tonight, right?
They play Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle.
Yeah.
It don't get any better, And
But they don't have the horses.
no, they don't. They have a new running back. They let Gore go to Indianapolis, so. We're just going to weather the storm.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
Oh, yeah.
We host the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, that's right. Number
So
5-0.
We're going to be there one way or the other, right?
You need the horses. I tell everybody that in sports, and they don't realize it. Business. Phil Jackson, great in Chicago, great in LA. He
Yeah.
cannot get a cab in New York. It's the same guy. It's the same triangle
Yeah.
offense.
Right.
But you don't have the players. You're not winning. I don't care who you are. You need
True.
the boys. And people don't realize that. Yeah, there's systems, and sometimes it works.
But that's also about building talent around a player's coach, and we've
Sure.
talked about that before in the show, where you have to start, and Greek and I say this all the time. You got to start from the top. And
Yeah.
you went a whole lot farther in football than I ever did. I mean, I played in high school and I played when I was a kid. But you have to have the coach to build the team around.
Yeah.
Right.
Dolphins, great, point. In
Yeah.
fact, Jets point of fact. You know, I mean, we finally have a player's coach.
Yep.
You know, you have a guy like Harbaugh, and you have a guy like Jackson. You can build a team around that coach. And players are drawn to good coaches.
Sure, charisma.
Sure.
It's not an accident that certain teams. New England is a great team.
Yeah.
And they have a great organization, but they win for a reason.
Yeah.
They have the pecking board. You got the owner, you got the
Absolutely.
coach. He's the coach. I mean, he's an owner who really, I'm sure, doesn't get too involved. He says, do what you got to do. You're winning.
He's busy with cheese.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing what he's got to do. It's all about the cheese.
Yeah. Jerry Jones got nothing better to do. As long as you pump gas in your car, he's going to be playing with the. You know, he wants to play with the team.
If it's working.
It's all about the chemistry.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you can have the best players on the field at one time and not get a first down. So
Yeah.
it's all about. It's like too much of this. It's a recipe. Too much of this is not good,
Yeah.
and too little of that is not going to work.
And that's what scares me about Belichick is that he has so much of so much. And I mean, we were talking about the Jet game coming up this Sunday, and you know, you look at a guy who he recruits these. I mean, obviously he's got some stars.
Yeah.
There's no question that New England's got some stars.
And people want to
But
play
his-
for him.
But his non-stars, I mean, you know, remember they talked about the greatest show on turf. When I said this before, when you can make Ricky Prohl look like a phenomenal
Yeah, I know,
receiver,
right? Yeah.
you know, and that's what happens with New England is they've got players and they got this. And I'm gonna take this kid and I'm gonna clone him because he's like 5'3", this running back that runs under guys. We talked about it last week. You know, Belichick is good at finding talent in people and making them play to their abilities instead of trying to stretch a guy. You know,
Well, he believes in that also, that system of you have a core and you build around it.
Right.
I mean, and you know, that's what he does. Obviously, he's had Brady for years, 6th-round draft pick.
Sure.
I mean, you know what? So you build around it. You have the core and you build around it because it changes. In the NFL, obviously, with the free agency, money, trade, you can't keep the same 22
Right,
guys
right.
starting. But you got to try to keep the core and then you build around it.
Well, even more about it. So you're on a college campus. You're a student at this college. You on the intramural flag football team, and your quarterback is someone who played for that school 5 years ago that came back to get a master's, right? Now all of his surroundings, his teammates, are people who are just in school.
Yeah.
Couldn't make their high school team, couldn't get a scholarship, but they all spread out and they play real hard. And they go up and down the field on you, and they end up winning the intramural national championship. And you got a team full of studs. You actually have that school team in the offseason on that flag football team that you playing against, and you beat them with just mediocre people.
Yeah. Well, it's all like you said. It's hard, close fist.
Yeah.
Everybody stays
Well, I
together.
mean, you know, so what you're saying, the question is, does Brady's front five step up and play harder because they're protecting Brady than Tannehill's front five protecting him?
Well, I think a little bit. You got to say there's talent involved. I mean, if the guy's got talent, he does. He doesn't. But I think with somebody like Brady, he's quicker. He thinks. You know what I mean? He's got one look, 2 looks. He's done like that. Tannehill's still a young quarterback.
But if I'm the left tackle on the offensive line of the New England Patriots, and I figuratively drop that ball and let that man in to hurt Brady,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I know that I'm gonna get a whole lot of junk from the core.
Of course.
You know, whereas you know a guy in Miami, I mean, he wants to play for his coach. He wants to play the best he can. But I also don't think that he's got that I'm letting my brothers down attitude.
Sure, that
that
starts
like
with
you
top.
said, that core players absolutely possess.
Yeah, it's like in Miami, the tackle will probably say, well, he held the ball too long.
Yeah.
Where in New England,
Not my fault.
in New England, it's like,
It's on me. It's on me.
Yeah.
So even though you're a Baylor guy, you say Baylor's going to get into the playoff this year.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. That'd be great for the program, like I said.
Yeah. Next year, I get, some of the sponsors get some trips somewhere here. There.
Yeah, we'll do it.
All right.
All right, cool. I'm in.
I'm down.
We make it there. We like Houston. So take us to Houston.
All right, cool. That's good. We'll do what we got to do.
We'll take you to Prime Cigar.
Yeah. That's right.
This is a Greek podcast. We had a great time today. Had a lot of special guests. Thank God we got Alonzo because we talked about him for a couple of weeks. We're going to wish him all the luck in the world. We're going to help him with his tequila. So if you guys are out there and you want to try a new tequila soon, it'll be in the store soon.
Yes.
And try it. You will definitely like it. Obviously, we'll be back next week with Ryan. Alonzo, anytime. It's my pleasure.
Absolutely.
And thanks for spotting me out. I like that. Hey, Greek, you must be it. And Ryan, I'm going to wish him luck on his Mets. He's a big Met fan. Who's a Met fan? And obviously the Jets. Greek podcast. We're back next week. Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace!